I remember as a kid being at Maranatha Bible Camp, and I was down in the amphitheater, probably like where we used to do campfire, and I remember somebody telling an illustration, a story. I don't remember who it was, but the illustration basically went like this. They said, "Do you want to know how to trap a raccoon? If there's a problem, if you have a raccoon problem, do you want to know how to trap a raccoon? Well, here's how you do it. You take a box, and you cut a hole in the top and you cut a hole in the side, just big enough for a raccoon to get their paw in there. On the inside of the box, you put a full-length pencil and you wrap that pencil in tin foil. That way, during the night, as the moon is shining on that box through the hole in the top and it reflects off the foil, the raccoon will see it and will reach in and grab the pencil and try to pull it out, but they can't because the pencil is wider than the hole. And when you wake up the next morning, you're going to see the raccoon trapped there in their own grip on that pencil, and then you can do whatever you want with the raccoon at that point." Now, I don't know if that's actually true or not, but the illustration does hold that sometimes I think that the very thing that we are holding on to is the thing that's keeping us trapped. And if we were to learn the skill of letting go, we might just find a freedom that our selfishness could never attain. This practice of letting go, of holding loosely, this is going to be a really important practice for the praise team during this particular season of ministry at Northside. Because as we settle into this new building, we are already experiencing the reality of what I think many of us kind of assumed would happen. And it's this: not everything works perfectly, right? Just because it's new doesn't mean it's working perfectly. And I have to learn how to hold loosely to the expectations and the plans and desires that I have. I have to learn how to let go of what I would prefer, and I've got to trust that God's got this. And that's ultimately where the habit of letting go and holding loosely, that's ultimately where that's going to land, is a greater trust in God. I think that the way that this gets worked out for everybody on the praise team, whether you're a vocalist, one in the band, or a person on our tech team, the way this gets worked out is in the way that we feel and react when we mess up, or the way that we feel and react when something breaks and doesn't work quite right. And especially when this happens in front of a few hundred people, right? How we react in those moments, I think, is an indication of how loosely we're holding to our plans and our desires, how well we are practicing letting go. Sometimes it helps to realize we're not the only team in the world that deals with this kind of stuff. And I even kind of hesitate to bring this up because sometimes I don't think it's helpful to always kind of poke fun. But there are YouTube videos all over the place of worship fails. And maybe you've seen some of these before. I think it's okay every once in a while to laugh at ourselves, right? And there's one in particular that stands out to me. And it's a guy named Martin Smith. Martin Smith was the lead singer and the front man for the worship band Delirious. These guys pioneered kind of what we know today as the modern worship movement. And 10 years ago, he had quite an epic fail in a live worship setting. Watch this.
Do you know what? I think it's time to hand over.
I think he handled that probably about the best way that he could. We don't make it our aim to do things that are shoddy, right? We want to do it to honor the Lord for his glory. Colossians 3:17 says that whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it all in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. And so, we don't aim to be shoddy, but when something doesn't work right or doesn't work the way that we planned, I want us to be a team that holds loosely and trusts the Lord with those plans at all times. There's a phrase that sometimes you hear me say, and it's that when something doesn't work quite right, we'll say, hey, look, the kingdom's still standing. And I think that's an important axiom to live by. Just know that I am always in your corner as you serve on this team. I don't expect perfection, but I do want to see a pursuit. I think that's important. I can't expect perfection from you, just as I can't expect perfection from myself. But I do want to see a pursuit. This means that I'm going to trust the Lord for your role on the team, but I want to see that you're trusting him too. I want to see that you are pursuing him too. I want to see that you are obeying him too. So let's hold loosely to our plans. Let's hold tightly to our pursuit of him. And let's continue to trust the Lord, and maybe along the way, we'll learn how to laugh at ourselves just a little bit more. Just a thought for you this week.